I'm just busy thinking about those two lions, two males from the Gowrie pride. Obviously the tracks we followed a bit earlier. It's amazing how these animals follow their behavior, I guess. And the fact that they've got their pride, and at the moment they've got at least 14 youngsters that we know of, maybe a few more. So genetically they're doing well at the moment. They've got a lot of seedlings in the ground, and as soon as they can make sure they get to 2 years and older, they've left quite a large legacy behind in terms of offspring. But then they go, it rains, they go off at night, and they'll walk on a good night, they'll walk 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, a vast distance, using a lot of energy, roaring. Let's check here. There's a smudge of a track there, so I just want to have another look. Quite interesting the behavior they have in that. So they're remarking their territory, and in doing so hoping to keep out other competitors. In other words, if they can sort of marks, they can dissuade other male lions from even coming into their area by roaring, then that's the first objective achieved. Secondly, they leave scent marks. Again, if other males come in, they smell there's dominant males around and hopefully back away. And then obviously third, they would physically chase those males off if they can find them. This is of course very important, because if other males do come in and get hold of the pride of those cubs especially, they'll kill those cubs. So it's a very important part of lions' behavior, especially of the male lions, to keep scent marking and vocalizing sort of through their roar mark their area. And it's quite amazing how that sound can work. I used to work with a guy, Dr. John Grinnell, fantastic guy from America, on lion vocalization research, and a whole lot of things that he'd studied over many years. I was lucky enough to pick up a few things from him, but there's quite a lot of design in it. I mean, they can count, for instance, if they hear other lions roaring, they can know up to about 5 lions, they can know whether there's 5, 4, 3, 2 or 1 lion roaring. So if you've got 2 males here and they hear 1 male roaring as a possible intruder, they know immediately that there's just 1 and they're much stronger. Or if there's 3 or 4, they know that they're outnumbered. Obviously they'll still have to respond to it. And then they also can tell different individuals. In other words, if they're roaring and they hear other lions roaring in response, and it's the lions that live to the south, they've got a territory to the south, then they know, oh no, it's Mark and John, they're our neighbors, it's fine to be there. But if they hear those same lions roaring from the wrong direction, let's say from the north, then they also know that there's something wrong now, because our neighbors to the south are now in the north. And the same goes for being able to tell strangers. So again, they could hear lions roaring maybe on the boundary or outside their area, but if it's new, strange lions, they immediately respond by going close to or to the edge of where their sort of territorial boundaries are, and go and vocalize there, let those lions know, listen, there's some guys about. So there's a whole lot of interesting communication just within the roaring of lions. Another thing that I found quite interesting is that you get like call it a dialect if you want. In other words, all your lions in Kruger will have a similar voice trait to all your lions in Etosha National Park in Namibia, or all your lions in East Africa. So much so that even with the human ear, if you're used to listening to lions roar, you can pick up on some of that as well just by listening to it. But per population they sound quite similar, so almost like they learn a certain accent to sort of give it a human aspect. Lots of interesting behavior. Obviously they've been busy walking. I think they're probably still walking, making sure that they get lots of healthy cubs growing up. Guys, we're just coming up on Gowrie waterhole now. Just going to have a look around here. Probably pretty quiet, but it's just sort of on our way up towards Buffelshoek Dam and up towards that area where we found that impala carcass yesterday morning. Going to go have a look. As you can see, just looking at the water down here, didn't really get much benefit from the waterhole's point of view from the rain last night. I'll try and find out today how much rain it was, but I would guess probably only a few millimeters, maybe 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters. So it's not much at all. It's about a 1/6 or a 1/7 of an inch. But definitely enough to get a new bit of energy and vigor back into the grass and the plants. Right, I'm just going to move a little forward. I just want to have a look at this droplets on this tree here to the left. Oh. Little branch, and the other ones, it's just beautiful. It's a small knobthorn tree. Awesome. I just love that every morning when it's been very moist during the night or a little bit of drizzle like last night, you get all these droplets sitting everywhere, little diamonds on everything. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Nice bird calls as well. Franklin making a lot of noise there. Bush is coming alive.